Now let's look at another exercise. Here we have two alternatives, A and B. I'm gonna do the incremental analysis. This is the first step. Then I'm gonna use the IRR. But here I have a problem. That initial investment of A is minus 18,000 and of B it's the same value. So if I'm gonna say A minus B, it's gonna give me 0. B minus A, it's gonna be 0. So I cannot decide how to do the incremental analysis. Is it A minus B or B minus A? So when I have this case, which is here a special case, I will delete this first row. Alright? I will begin the comparison out of the next year, year 1. And I will see, will the value of this one minus this one give me a positive value or a negative value? So if I say 960 minus 11,000, it's gonna give me a negative value. So I have to say it is gonna be A minus B. Because if I say B minus A, the value will be 11,000 minus 900, it's gonna be plus 10,640. And we agreed that the first arrow has to be a downward arrow. So that's why it's gonna be incremental analysis using A minus B. So I'm gonna subtract all these values from these values. This is the new cash flow diagram that I will get. Now, I will not get its present worth, I will get its IRR. Remember, because I'm using the IRR method. Now, I know that the IRR of A minus B was 14%, 0.7, and the MAR is 12%, so which one is better? It's gonna be A. So let's look at the options here. We have select B because it will generate 20% profit as opposed to 18%. Now look here, what it's tricky here. They are saying that it's gonna generate 20%. IRR of B is greater than IRR of A, so choose B. We never compare IRR of the alternatives to each other. We only compare IRR of alternatives to the MAR only. So this is tricky, okay? And we realize that we do not select A, the choice, we do not select B, sorry, we will choose A. So this alternative is wrong. Select A because its increment exceeds 12%. Increment, so the increment of A minus B, the IRR of the increment exceeds 12%. That's why I chose A. This is the correct option. Let's read the rest. Select B because its rate of return is higher than A. I'm gonna choose B because the IRR of B is greater than A. We never do that. Select B because it recovers most of the investment during the first year. Here I have more return. No, we do not select based on this. We only compare IRR of the increment to the MAR, so that's why we chose B. Let's move on to the next question, exercise 3. Here I have two projects and I want to choose the best. Now here it's asking, determine the range of the MAR which makes project 2 preferred over project 1. Here I didn't specify the method of solution. I didn't tell you use incremental analysis and present worth or use incremental analysis and IRR. I didn't say it. So you have you can choose whatever you want as long as you get the final answer which project is better. But the options here will give you a guide which method to use. Here I'm saying the MAR is less than 12.5%. So you see that I'm comparing the MAR to the IRR. So you have to use incremental analysis plus IRR. If in the options I didn't specify, I was just saying 1 is better, 2 is better, they are indifferent, or so on. So in this way you can choose the method of solution you like. But if in the options it is specified, you'll have to follow the options. So here I have to get the incremental analysis and IRR. So, and here they have specified where project 2 is preferred over 1. So I'm telling you it is project 2 minus project 1. And you can also tell from the initial investment, it is minus 2,000 plus 1,000. The first arrow is negative, so it is project 2 minus project 1, but I'm giving you a hint here as well. So I'm gonna just draw a column related to P2 minus P1. I'm gonna subtract the values: minus 2000 plus 1000 minus 800, 1500 minus 600, 900, here the same, 0. I'm gonna get the IRR of this new cash flow diagram. What is the first step in doing the IRR? Setting the present worth equals to 0. So what do we have in my present worth? Minus 800 initial investment plus $900, a future value at year 1, equals to 0. So I know that the factor P, knowing Fi1 equals to this value. We can use the several methods that we have learned. We can use the table, we can use the equation, we can choose two values and interpolate, or use the graphical method. I do not force you to use any method. You choose the method that you like. So here I'm gonna choose the easiest method, which is the rule. I'm gonna say that this factor equals to 1 plus I to the power minus 1. So using this simple calculation, I can tell that I equals to 0.125. So it is 12.5%. And we have learned that if the IRR of P2 minus P1 was greater than or equal to the MAR, then P2 is better. And I'm saying that P2 is better. I'm preferring P2 over P1. So I'm just going to put the equation here. IRR of 2 minus 1, which is the 12.5%, is greater than or equals to the MAR. Because I know that if 2 minus 1 is better, 2 is better than 1, then IRR of 2 minus 1 has to be greater than the MAR. And I already calculated the IRR of the 2 minus 1. You just put the IRR in this rule, so you will say 12.5% is greater than or equals to the MAR. So this is the range of the MAR that will make option 2 or project 2 preferred over 1. So I'm gonna choose option A. So this was the end of the exercises related to incremental analysis and IRR methods.